It's a couple ticks away, maybe 3 ticks away from stopping me out. See how it's doing now, pulling back. So we got to push it. All right. Welcome back, everyone, to the channel. This is Future Trading with Mike, and appreciate you tuning in today, watching the video wherever you are at globally. I am trading the E-mini S&P 500 futures today, okay? And if you don't know anything about the channel, guys, I am a scalp trader. I pretty much trade supply and demand on the E-mini S&P 500 futures. And, you know, I have a pretty easy strategy that I use in trading the markets, okay? There's over 400 videos on the channel, of course. We have a great Discord community filled with over 900 members, and we're growing strong by the day. So if you're interested in joining the Discord, you can find the link down in the description portion of this video. Joining the Discord is free of charge. Just click on the link and invite yourself in. All right. Outside of that, again, I just want to mention that, you know, I have a pretty easy strategy that I use in trading the markets surrounding supply and demand. And if you don't know much about supply and demand, it's just basically aggressive selling and buying in the market, looking for opportunities where the price pulls back to areas where there may have been aggressive selling or buying, and just waiting for the price to pull back to it and looking for an entry to go either short or go long, okay? But of course, you need to know, you know, more in detail about certain things when it comes to just jumping in, you know, versus just jumping to a trade. You need to know what's going on at certain zones, okay? So do your homework, and there's plenty of information, valuable content here on the video where I cover those type things or topics. And yeah, so appreciate you tuning in and watching today's video. If you don't mind, and if you aren't a subscriber already, go ahead and click on the subscribe button down below, that red button. Make sure you have all your post notifications turned on. And make sure to click on the bell next to the subscribe button. And as well, also, please drop a like on the video, okay? Watch the content here today. But this is going to be a live recorded trading session where I trade, you know, live here. So I do this, you know, weekly, a couple times a week sometimes, just depends. But I like to do these live recorded sessions because it helps out tons of individuals who trade futures. It doesn't just have to be the E-mini S&P 500 futures. It can also be whatever market tied to the future markets, okay? You can trade the same exact way. But look, without further ado, I want to go ahead and jump into the video because it is almost 10:15 my time, and I want to get a couple trades off today. It's Friday, so let's see here what we got going on in the market. And taking a look at the market right now, we've been bullish pretty much since yesterday's trading session. You can see I'm pushing to the upside here. We do have a decent, you know, swing to the downside here with a high sitting up here at 40.25. And but right now, to me, honestly, yes, we are kind of bearish, right? I mean, excuse me, bullish with a, you know, kind of the market moving to the upside here. But the overall trend has been to the downside. So, you know, we just have to kind of pay attention to what's going on in the lower time frame chart. But right now we are approaching this is a supply area up here, okay? So be careful because price can reject this zone here and push to the downside. So we'll see what happens today, but this is a supply zone. Because why, you may be asking? Because we have big swings to the downside, making lower lows and lower highs. But that does not mean that you cannot take trades to, you know, basically counter trend trades, in a sense, what I'm trying to say, okay? So, but yeah, price can reject this area and push to the downside, but we'll look to see what happens here. What the market's going to actually do. Now, if we look at the lower time frame chart, for me, that's pretty much my 12 range chart. I do see that we're bullish to the upside. We can see price breaking. What area is this? This is actually 40.25. Has price broke above that yet? No, we haven't broke above that yet. But we are making these higher highs and higher lows moving to the upside here. Like I said, this is a major swing to the downside here, which I just showed on the 60 range chart, okay? I trade range-based charts. It doesn't matter what chart or type you actually trade, whether it's tick, volume, or time-based charts. It's all the same when it comes to trading supply and demand. You just have to know the zones and the levels to trade from, okay? But looking at the higher time frame, like I said, we are at a supply zone, and the price could pretty much at this moment here, let's take a look here. It could break lower here. We'll see. You know, pretty much if we get a close of a candle here, but it may or may not. It could continue pushing to the upside here. So I'm just looking to see what's going to take place at this area here. So there was an area of price, some buying, aggressive buying came out of this area here. So price may be looking to fill back in this area on the way back down, maybe just to push higher. So we just trade based on what we see, you know, based on the opportunity that comes to hand or unfolds. Okay, so and looking at something as well, we do have an area. Let's see. Okay, price tapped into that. All right, so there would have been a entry to go long when price pulled back right here. Well, no, I'll take that back because price filled that area in already. Right here, price pulled back right here. You could have went long to fill in this pretty much this gap on the way down right here. Okay, where this aggressive selling was. When price pushed up higher, you could have put when it pulled back, rejection right here, go long to take it back up to this area here, which is already tapped into that zone there. So with that to be said, let's see if we get the rejection in this area. Now resting out on the 60 range chart, we do have supply resting right here. This is, let's see here. There's supply right here. I personally wouldn't classify this as a high probability area because it's actually, there's really no gap in this area here. Because price broke down, took out this area here, pulled back, filled in a little gap right here. So there's not much of a gap there. But let me take a look here at the lower time frame chart. We might get a break here to take a trade to the downside here. Okay. So basically what I'm trying to say, there was no like imbalance to fill. And I'm going to shoot a video or create a video on talking about a little bit about imbalances, you know, the gap, things of that nature, because some people may get confused when you hear about, you know, gap or the imbalance. To me, it's kind of the same thing. But I'm going to kind of clarify and confirm things so that people that may have some type of confusion a little bit, it may clear the airwaves up for them. So, but let's see. If we look at the 24 range, there was a trade that could have been taken right here. Price filled in this area right here, pull back. Right here, you can go short right here, taking it back down to this area here, or possibly a little lower. So that was a short, as I mentioned. I actually showed off the 12 range just a minute ago as well. So we'll see what happens. Price is still going to reject this area, if it's going to want to continue to push higher now. It may want to try to push higher, possibly, not 100%, but still, this is a supply zone off of the 24 range chart, as well as I showed you on the 60 range chart. So we have multiple means of confluence across a few charts there, and even on the 12 range. Let me see. Price is tapping into it. It's pretty much tapped into that zone. So that was supply. This is supply right here. So you got multiple areas or multiple charts that have confluence tied together. So kind of increases the odds. Not sure if price is going to reject this zone again, but if it does, we'll see, because now we have a pretty much a double top right here, and price could actually push down lower, form a lower high, and then possibly look and take a short, right? So let's see what happens. So it looks like the market is trying to push higher here. So it's just a waiting game now. It looks like the attempt to try to push higher. So I'm going to stand down. You got to be patient, let the market unfold for you. All right, it looks like the market is trying to push a little higher here. Yeah. Let's see. I'm going for a quick little scalp here, short. Just a quick little scalp here. Quick scalp short. Come on. My first little trade today. I'm just going to try to get filled here. Nothing much. Just trying to pick up a few ticks here. We're at a supply zone. Looks like price may show some rejection. It's showing some rejection right now. The top's up here, but I like to see this candle here close to the downside. So this is a little bit more, this is aggressive, okay? So I don't recommend trades like this, but we are at a supply zone across all charts. And I think it's just going to fill in back to this area right here. So I'm just picking up couple ticks there. Roughly about 2 points right there. So hopefully we can get hit here, get filled, and then we'll just look for the next little setup, but we'll see. 16. Come on. All right, so I scaled in with the third contract there. Pretty confident prices. Want to fill this little area right here in just for, like I said, a quick scalp. So let's see. Got 3 contracts here for a quick trade. Hopefully coming back down here to this little area of I'm gonna take a look here. Where the support sitting at right here. You can see here clearly on the higher, the lower time frame here, my lower time frame, prices making these higher highs and higher lows, but we still haven't taken out that major swing, which I showed on the across the board on the 60 to 24 range, where there's supply resting at. So overall, the market still looks, if you look at the higher time frame, still looks bearish. Okay, but just over the last day, we've got a little bullish run to the upside. And the market can reverse at any given point. I mean, things can turn around. That's why you have to stay glued to your charts and trade. Understand the market structure based on, looking at break of structure and things like that, but also pay attention to price action. Be able to get in and get out of trades. Come on, baby. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this contract here and bring it down here, because price could actually break through this area right here and run lower. So I'm gonna let a runner run here is what I'm trying to say. Come on. So I'm gonna try to get filled in these 2 contracts right here. Let's see. Come on. I'm not sure, but we will see. Feel like it's tempting to, okay, we got fill there on 2 contracts. All right. And we can get stopped, I'm going to put my, put a hard stop back at 1 tick above break, my entry point, break even, break even plus 1, because price can pull back here and continue to run to the downside. But we did get, I think we got filled here at pretty much 3 contracts on 2 contracts on 3 points there. So we can pull back up to here, and then continue pushing lower. But this is just a small scalp is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to hopefully let my runner run, if it will. If not, then it may just continue pushing higher. But that's fine though. At least I'm locked in on 2 contracts at 3 points, and if it closes out and stops me out here at 1 tick, plus 1 tick at my break-even point, pretty much, then that's fine. All right, not to cover commissions and things like that. Okay, so, but we'll probably get stopped out here because it's just such a tight area. But really, I like to see price come back down to this area right here. That'd be sweet. But may not get that. We'll see, because it could pull back right here and then keep pushing lower. So I don't know. If we get a lower high here, then that will kind of give me more of a telltale story that the market may try to be pushing lower. So may get stopped out. What I'm trying to say is it may stop me out, set up for a lower high, and then I may re-enter to go short again, taking it back down to this area here. And you never know, price could continue running to the downside. Because we still overall, on a bigger picture, we are still bearish. We got big swings off the 60 range to the downside. So we just trade based upon rejections at key levels, so supply and demand, and look for price to fill in areas, take your scalps if you can, and then if you're in with 2 contracts, say for instance, let the last contract run. If you're like in for 3 contracts, or then take profit on 2 contracts, let the last one run, and then that's how you trade it moving forward. So we'll see if we get a nice run to the downside here. So I'm just gonna play it by ear at this point, is what I'm trying to say. Still in right now. Now if it sets up for a lower high here and it does something like let's try to get an arrow here. It does something like this, then pulls back, and then basically forms a swing to the downside. Then I'll move my stop down a little lower and put it maybe on the back end of the swing right here, because price is gonna more likely come back and test some area right here. You put it on the back end, you lock in for more profit right there by bringing your stop down. And each time it does that, you can continue doing so, okay? And I might talk about that in a video. Whoops. Let's go back here. I'm trying to delete some of this right here. Talk about that in the video so people understand kind of, as prices swinging to the downside, where's maybe a safe place to put your stop at when you're in profit. But right now you see here, I mean, I'm putting it right here because I don't want to take, if it comes back against me, then at least I'm locked in. I'm not taking a loss, right? Because I've already covered 2 contracts, or 2 contracts got filled. But until it forms a lower swing, making a swing to the downside, then I'm just going to keep it right here. If it gets stopped out, we get stopped out. I mean, it's the thing, I'm not stopped out when I'm taking a loss. I'm stopped out in profit, and that's the overall goal. So it's all about trade management, okay? My hopes is that price is going to break this area. If price breaks to this swing, then we're coming down here, okay? All right, but I think before it may do that, it's going to form some kind of swing, or pull back to the down. It's going to basically pull back maybe and then push lower. So, and by the time it does that, it's probably going to stop me out. But that's fine, like I said, because if we get a lower high here and we get the break down below, then I'm probably going to take a short. So we'll see. Maybe. So it may stop me out here. And I'm okay with that if it does, because at least I took a little short entry stab, and the market is just trying to figure out what it wants to do. Yeah, see, we're about to it's about to probably pull back on me here. So we'll let it play through. See what happens. It was a couple ticks away, maybe 3 ticks away from stopping me out. See how it's doing now, pulling back. So we got to push the downside, pull back. Maybe just a close lower. If so, I'll bring my stop down a little bit. Just a couple more ticks. But it could just jump back up here and stop me out too. So that's how the market moves. I mean, they know what people are putting their stops at. So the key is being smart and understanding that, how they move. It's like playing strategically, like a game of chess. And that's why I love trading the markets, because you have to be able to read as the market's moving, understanding, kind of see the next move before that actually happens. So we'll see. I would love to scale in with another contract on a pullback if we get a lower high. I mean, if we get a price breaks lower here, forms a swing, it'd be nice. But again, see what it's doing here? It's made a lower high here, but it hasn't broke to the downside yet. So now it's moving sideways. And this little range, these little zippers like this, they're testing the areas. What they're doing, they're testing the areas. They know people probably went short in this area here, so it's testing these areas to stop traders out. That's why I put my swing, my stop 1 tick below my entry point, pretty much. So it's all about protecting your trade, knowing where to put it at, put the your stop at once you're in the market. So we're still in at this point. They're zipping back and forth to run stops here. trying to stop traders out in every area. And they may run it all the way back up to here and stop me out. Let's see. They're going to stop me out. Hopefully not, but we'll see. Look at them. They're trying to, you know, they're etching one tick at a time to stop traders out in a sense. They know people probably took positions right here to go short. But the market could keep pushing higher, you know. It's been bullish for a day. It's been bullish today as well. So 2 days of bullish activity. I mean, we're talking like 2 ticks there. They're probably going to test this area though. Okay, so they ran my stop there. That's fine. Didn't lose anything. And we just waited it out now. Could continue pushing higher. So the market's moving kind of slow. But that's how the institutions and the banks, that's their goal. They want to stop you out. They know what people putting their stops at. They're going to run areas before they make a move. So they'll go up there, hit your stop, and then they'll turn the market back around and move in the same intended direction. So I'm not sure what the market's going to do. I mean, no one knows. You just gotta pay attention to, you know, when they do certain things. Like I saw the rejection here, went short. Now here's a double top forming right here, pretty much. Okay, so we'll see. You know, are they going to you know, push the market lower, make a lower high, and then trade lower? Don't know, but we just trade based on, you know, the moves we see the institutions and banks setting up for us to trade. You know, a lot of people think that trading is all about, as a retailer, that, you know, we can push and pull the market. We don't. I say that all the time. I mean, it's big pockets, deep pockets. People, you know, big players that have the money to inject millions of dollars, you know, to any given trade. When they put on a position and they're looking to short an area or to go long at an area, that's big money that's put on the table, and you can see those big moves, especially when price moves away from them. Like, you know, look at this. Look at this right here. Like when price pushed up right here. Look, that was done by banks and institutions. There's a lot of buying that took place right there. They're filling orders right here. So just naturally speaking, when price comes back and fill those areas, you look to do what? To take a rejection, trade, and look to go back long, right? So that's just the nature of the beast in a sense. So look at the market setting up right here. Let's see. So pull back, double top here. Let's see what happens. But just be careful, be patient. Prices hit this area, filled it in a sense. You know, those imbalance right here, price fills it in. So I'm looking to see if price is going to break lower now. So if we get a breakdown here, pull back, I can go long. I mean, excuse me, short. So we'll see. So right now with this building volume, you can see here, moving sideways. I think probably the V pocket for today is here around around 16. So we do have a demand zone resting down here at the bottom, as you can see right down here. Price can bounce right here, which has already done that, you can see, but there's a demand zone here. Nice solid demand, aggressive buying come out of this area. Price can pull back to this zone right here and bounce, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know if we're going to break this area right here. If we do, I may look for pullback to fill in, or for price to come back down to the demand zone and then reverse the trade. So we'll see what happens. I'm not, you know, sure, because the market just hasn't really done too much today since the opening. Today is Friday though, so. But again, if you look at the higher time frame, the 60 range, we have this high sitting right here after making this push down, pull back, and then making a low there. So making a lower low. So still at this point, I'd say the market is still kind of, in my eyes, bearish. But looking at the higher time frame, let me see, the lower time frame, there's opportunity for pullbacks to go long, because the market does tend to be on a lower time frame bullish, but yeah, okay. So we'll leave it like that. All right, so the market's moving higher now. Let's take a look here at the higher time frame, and we are broke this area of structure right here, pretty much to the upside here. So taking out 25, making higher highs now. So yes, yeah, here's the opportunity. I mean, you could definitely be looking for opportunity to take, definitely long entries now with both the lower time frame, making higher highs and higher lows, and now the higher time frame making, making a new high here. So, yeah, the market can pull back to key areas. We all know here, those that trade supply and demand. Let's see here, and back down to this area here. But this is off the higher time frame. I mean, we could actually get a pull back to this area here, maybe look for an opportunity to go long, but just gotta kind of play it as as you see it in a sense. So there's plenty of opportunity to to definitely go long. So you just have to look at your lower time frame, basically wait for price to pull back to a key area. In this case, now that we're moving higher to an area of demand, it could be here, it could be any area below, it could be here. This area here, I wouldn't consider as high probability. If we got back down here, definitely so to go long. But excuse me, yeah, just have to kind of follow the market right now and kind of see what it's doing. I mean, not a lot going on today in today's session. I didn't trade the first half an hour of the market opening. I took this short right here, thinking that maybe it would break this area here. It didn't. We can only hope sometimes, and that things would happen. But hey, we don't control the market as retail traders. We just trade what we see. So this could be an opportunity to go long. I think, but that's gonna put us back around the VPOC, I believe. 18, yeah, that's gonna put us back around the VPOC. But yeah, there's an area of demand resting right here. Price could pull back. We can get some rejection and maybe take a shot long. All right, it's around noontime Eastern time, and the market's just grinding to the upside. I mean, it's got some areas that it can fill in. I mean, you see this aggressive selling coming out of this area here to the downside, so the market could actually just continue pushing higher and start filling in some of these, this area here back up to this area of resistance right here, this swing sitting at. So it could just make these little swings pulling back to the upside gradually. I would like to see it basically make a move back maybe a little bit lower before push, and then taking an entry long, to if it can get in, but not sure if the market's going to pull back and give us a nice retracement to look for some rejection in this area down here, possibly to maybe go long. I'm not sure. So, but it's just kind of been moving to the sideways here, broke a little higher. So we are bullish. All right, today's been a pretty tough day. I mean, the market's just been bullish to the upside. We haven't really got too many retracements, if any, really, to to take any entries pretty much. So you have to look for opportunities pretty much in a market like this where it's just bullish to the upside. I mean, not a lot of activity. It's kind of just grinding to the upside. We want to be looking for pullbacks to key demand zones, right? Not to say you can't take or look for maybe an entry to go short, but I mean, and you'll be going against the grain pretty much if you do so. So the market's is basically filling in, this area right here, where all this aggressive selling came out of, and I stated that earlier in the early part of the video. So at some point, it's probably going to try to tap into this zone, tap back into this area right here. There is supply resting right here, of course, and it can reject out of this area, but you just have to wait to see what price gets there to see if you can kind of get any means of rejection. So taking any kind of small pullback going long would be the smart thing to do in a market like this. I mean, we have on the 12 range, you can see right here, there is, I'll blow it up for you a little bit. I mean, there's demand resting right here. Market pushes higher. If you get a pullback to this area right here, around 28.5, 28 area maybe, or somewhere right here where this high volume area is. Of course, you want to take a trade if you're looking to go long below the high volume area. Okay, so there's opportunity right here. So I'm just going to kind of mark this area because there is demand resting right here off the 12 range. So it could be somewhere in this area. Oops. Somewhere in this area right here, guys. So tough day. I haven't really been personally taking too many trades myself, but it's okay. Some days are like this. I mean, you just step away from the computer. Don't force a trade when there's not really one to or many to take. So if you get a pullback here, you look for rejection, you can go long. So I'm gonna take a stand down right now and just kind of see what happens or unfolds, maybe around 2 o'clock or so, and see what we get. All right, so we approach that area I was talking about here. You see it, this area of supply sitting right here. Upper portion is high volume area. This is off a 60 range chart though, so we want to see some means of rejection. Let's see, 48. Price, okay, price is rejecting the area. So we'll wait to see what happens here. That was off the 60 range chart there. So, I'm looking for basically a pullback now. I mean, we are kind of bullish right now. But that is a major area of supply, okay, off of the 60 range chart, what we can see right here. So what could actually happen is price could set itself up to where it breaks structure to the downside, and you can look for a pullback off of a lower time frame chart to go short. But right now, I'm just going to wait to see what the market does here. That may have been an opportunity to go short, but just it's a small area here to go short too, back down too. So I'm not sure. We'll see what happens if price kind of breaks structure back to the downside, and then pulls back. But we gotta be careful because we have areas of demand. This is an area of demand sitting right down here. Okay, it broke to this high right here. It took out this structure, this area structure here. So there's demand resting down here. There's supply right here. So I'm just going to wait to see. I mean, we are approaching towards the close of the market now, and I haven't really had an opportunity to really take any trades other than one today, and just because the market's been very bullish, it didn't really give us any pullbacks. I may have taken a trade long if price would have got back down to this area, but it never did. I had it marked up, never did. So maybe there is an opportunity to go long still before the market actually closes, but we'll see. But not too many opportunities today. I'll just leave it like that. There's still opportunity for price to come back down to this area right here. It still hasn't come down to it, so price could come to this area here, reject it, and you can look for a long. You can look for a long right here as well. So let's see. All right, so the market pulled back right here, right here to close, and rejected this area right here. But I mean, you gotta be careful and take trades like right here. I'm gonna pull back right here because if you look at the higher time frame, you're right dead smack at an area of supply, and that's a tricky situation. Taking a buy position or a long position back into a off a higher time frame, you have a major area of supply. So a little tricky situation. Not saying that it won't work out, but it's a lot. That's a very aggressive entry, and just not the way I take my trades. But yeah, today was not a I guess eventful day in a sense, because it just moved to the upside the whole day. I mean, there was just a couple areas shortly after the market opened up, pulled back pretty much to this area here. You could have went long a couple minutes after 9:30, and then it broke higher, came back. These are just, you're taking long positions on pullbacks. But it just depends. I mean, you have to follow price action and really see, pay attention. But after, say, 10 o'clock, I mean, really, the market just moved to the upside, and it really didn't pull back into any key areas. I mean, just kept pushing to the upside. But like I said, we are at an area of supply off the higher time frame, and for me, it was not a lot going on. Some Fridays are like that, and you just kind of either stay out of the market, maybe look for one trade and be done, especially if the market's moving in one solid direction. And it's been doing that ever since the overnight session. The market opened up yesterday at 6 Eastern time. It's just been pushed into the overnight hours, the morning hours, just moving to the upside. Not really tapping into any key areas. But if you look at the higher time frame, this is the area I'm talking about, right here. This is supply right here. It did break this area on the moving to the upside today. It took out this area structure. So there is demand resting right here. This would be a key area where price gets back here. Be interested in seeing what price would do. This will definitely catch my eye right here. And matter of fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just mark it because it's a very good zone. Untested, lots of buy-in, and it could definitely reject when it gets back to that area right there. So we'll see. As well as this is not a high probability zone here. This is a high probability zones, and that's something I'm gonna go more in detail about in another video, because a lot of people ask about, you know, what's low probability, high probability, what are you looking for. So I'll kind of cover that in a video when I get some time. But yeah, this is a supply right here, so you just have to be mindful of that price can sell. You know, it can reject this area, and you know, low volume area. So price typically likes to, you know, move from a high volume area through a low volume area back to another high volume area, but it can reject out of a low volume area. Okay, but yeah, again, not too much going on today. Just a bullish run to the upside. If you were bullish, you know, a bull today, and you were riding to the top side, and you saw this area right here that needed to be kind of, you know, filled in a sense. A lot of selling came out of this area. Yeah, price gets into this zone right here. It's going to stair step its way back up to that area, and now it's smacking right to a major area of supply, where it can halt for a while before it decides what it's going to do. There could be some rejection in this area and price just folds back down, but right now, looking at the higher time frame and lower time frame, it's bullish. It's unbroke a key area structure off the higher time frame, and it's been bullish since yesterday on the lower time frame. But that's all I have for you guys. Appreciate it. Hope you've done, or if you traded today, that you had some means of success. But for me, I didn't see too many opportunities and just kind of stood out of the market a little bit. Taking one trade, I took another small entry, which I didn't capture on the recording today. But in the video, all you see is just that one entry. But I appreciate everyone tuning in, and I'll see you next week. Take care and have a wonderful weekend.